All right, hello everyone. Hello. What is up? How's everyone doing? Welcome, my friends, to a full day of gameplay streaming. Today is Thursday, August 2nd, 2018. Welcome to the month of August, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good one so far. Today for me is a very nice day because it is very cool in the state of Washington. Cloud cover has rolled in and covered our state. We have not had full cloud cover in like over 2 weeks. So we've been in this big melt, this big heat wave. And today's really the first opportunity that we have to cool down, although it's uncertain whether or not this cool is going to last a few days or weeks. The weather people cannot agree out here on what's going to happen. So for me, this is the first day you probably can't hear a blaring air conditioner in the background, although it will be going on and off during today's stream. It's not on like maximum monstrous blast, you know, polar ice cap levels. Because it's actually not that hot today, which is good. So, welcome everyone to a full day of gameplay streaming. I'm DSP, of course. Hello, hello. Today, we're going to be doing a variety of stuff. We're going to start off with a survival horror game. Okay. Survival horror. What are we doing? We're doing Eternal Darkness. I started this game on Sunday and played it for about 4 hours. On the GameCube, by the way. It is a GameCube game. And, you know, interesting game, interesting premise, a game where you control many different characters over time, and live out their plot lines, right? To see exactly how they tie into this supernatural plot line where the planet is basically being controlled by these ancient demon beings, and you have their different servants using magic and the like over the years, demons that come out, you have to fight them. So not only is there like a puzzle aspect to the game, but there's lots of combat as well. I'll be honest, I really like the style of the game. I like the presentation, the story. I like that there are like jump scares, but also it's kind of classic survival horror combat where you have to micromanage your health, your magic, this new sanity meter, which really is a unique part of the game. I like all of that. It definitely makes it something interesting, and it makes it something fun and something different. But, being that the game is from 2002, it does suffer from a lot of the classic problems with old school survival horror games. Namely, a fixed camera that a lot of the times you cannot see what's coming. You cannot see what you're trying to hit or aiming for during combat. And it could lead to a lot of frustration. In fact, just this current chapter that I'm in, you know, I'm playing a guy from the 1800s who uses handguns. And half the time I can't see what I'm aiming at because it's off camera or out of focus or out of frame. And it's like, man, this is kind of frustrating. If the camera were just controllable or if the camera were more modern, this would be a much easier game, right? But, that being said, I am really enjoying it, okay? I am definitely enjoying this game. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the playthrough as well. So far, 4 hours in. I don't know how long the game is, although it doesn't seem like it would be too long. Reason being, you could tell from the get-go there's 6 characters that you're going to control over time. And so far, I've already controlled 3 of them, and I'm in Chapter 4, like the 4th one right now. So you got to think there's probably only 2 more characters, and then maybe the conclusion. So maybe I'll actually beat the game today. I don't know, because I don't know how long the game actually is. But I am enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough as well. I do. I hope that you are liking it because something different. Certainly something different, something original that I've never played before. Versus a lot of the games that I've played this summer were kind of rehashes or replays, right? For my 10th anniversary, this is one of the unique games, much like Simpsons Hit and Run or Half-Life 2, where I've never done a playthrough of it before, so it's fun to do it for the first time, right? So, that's great, and I certainly hope that, that you guys will enjoy the continuation of the playthrough. I'm liking it a lot. Okay. Tonight, second stream, late night stream, I will be playing Persona 5 another 2 hours. If you have not been caught up on that playthrough, I finished Shido's Palace Dungeon finally. I mean, that thing took like 12 plus hours to beat. It was ridiculous. And now I'm in free time, the final segment of free time in the entire game, where I'm trying to finish up social links and mementos missions so that I can get into the end game of the game. So it's basically going to be 2 hours of free time social links and the like tonight, okay? So I certainly hope that you guys will join me tonight for Persona 5. And then tomorrow, we've got some interesting variety, guys, as long as it releases on time, which it's supposed to. I'll be playing the Black Ops 4 beta, which is only for people who pre-ordered the game tomorrow, and I did pre-order it, so hopefully I'll be able to get it tomorrow, play it on stream. It should be fun. 4 hours of multiplayer just to give a taste of what exactly the game entails. I don't know what maps will be available. I'm hoping at least 2 or 3, because when you're playing a session like that, you obviously want a little bit of variety, right? So I guess we'll see what's available tomorrow for this beta. And it should be fun. It should be a fun segment. I hope you guys will join me for that. I haven't played a competitive FPS in a long time. I think actually it was 3 or 4 months now since I played, what was it, World War II? I think the last time I played Call of Duty World War II was May. So, there you go. So, it'll be something different, alright? And then tomorrow night, more Vice City, which will be fun. More GTA Vice City. You guys have been loving the playthrough. I've been loving playing the game. And, you know, another 2 productive hours of that tomorrow night. More grinding for the businesses, right? Then Saturday I'm off, and I know you might be saying, well, what the hell, you were just off on Tuesday. You're right. But what I need to do is I need to get back now into the schedule. Alright, I need to get back into the schedule of doing things the way that I'm used to doing them. And so we got to have Saturday the day off again, see? So now this next week, I won't have any odd days off or any odd time off. It'll be a full week of streaming before my next day off, which will be the next Saturday. All right. So this Saturday, no streaming, but I'll be back on Sunday. What am I doing on Sunday? Well, it's really going to be dependent on how stuff went, you know, this week. Maybe Sunday will be more Eternal Darkness, if it's not over yet. Maybe Sunday will be more of the Black Ops 4 beta. If you guys really liked it on Friday, I wouldn't be opposed to playing it again on Sunday since the beta's for the weekend. Or maybe you just want to see more Vice City. I don't know. We'll determine, you know, based off of what you guys are liking, what I'm going to be doing again on Sunday. Okay, maybe I'll do a Twitter poll or something. I guess we'll see. All right. Excuse me. So there you go. And then next week should be a fun week. Not only will I be playing all of the ongoing playthroughs, such as, again, Eternal Darkness, Paid Persona 5, and Vice City, and, you know, but at the end of next week, we're going to have 2 new games. We're going to have We Happy Few as well as Madden on Friday of next week. So what that means is this week, I'm really going to be focusing on trying to finish up all these playthroughs that are ongoing and try to get them finished, because when you get 2 new games, obviously I'm going to need to dedicate a lot of my time to those 2 new games, right? Now, for variety's sake, maybe this week I will mix in a few things. I'm really craving Street Fighter. I did not play it this week at all. And quite frankly, I'm not going to have time for it. So next week, I probably will be really craving Street Fighter. Maybe I'll do that for a random session. Or maybe even, as I said, I'll do a poll over Saturday. And I'll say, what are the games that I'm playing, what do you want to see on Sunday? Do you want to see more Eternal Darkness, more Vice City, Black Ops 4 beta, or do you want to see Street Fighter, right? And if whatever people vote for, maybe that's what I'll do on Sunday, okay? And, yes, I may do some Battle Royale next week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, all right? So there you go. That's what you can expect in the next week, okay, guys? In regards to Patreons, I should, you know, bring this up because it is very timely. You know, it's the beginning of the month, which means yesterday, everyone's Patreon pledges for July processed, and I want to say thank you guys so much. It was one of the most successful patron months I've had in a long time. I mean, since earlier this year, when most of my focus switched to streaming, and I really wanted to push having goals based off of subscriber numbers here on Twitch rather than based off of patron pledges, really the focus on Patreon has dwindled. And admittedly so. I mean, when I lost focus of it, you know, that's what's going to happen, right? Well, the good news is, not only was July a great supportive month on Patreon, but almost everyone's pledges cleared. And I heard that on Twitter, there were some people complaining about that there was some kind of a bug with Patreon and people were trying to pledge and their payments were being declined and stuff like that. I actually saw a couple horror stories overnight on Twitter of people saying, oh my God, you know, most of my income comes from Patreon and 50% of it was declined this month and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. Guess what? That didn't happen for me at all. In fact, it's the opposite. I think I had less people declined this month than like usually. So I seem to be immune to whatever this issue is. Obviously, I feel bad for those who that's the case, but no worries on that front. Pledges have gone through. Thank you guys very much for a very supportive July. And if you were a patron of mine in July, okay, if you were, I'm going to be contacting you Sunday night. So that's what, August 5th? Yeah, this Sunday night, I'm going to take time to sit down and message all of the patrons, Okay, so you guys will know exactly what information I need from you to get you your perks. Because I know a lot of people want to jump in on the nomination and voting, not only for the upcoming 10th anniversary event, right? We got a 10th anniversary retrospective event coming up, but also on the next Patrons Choice playthrough, right? We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up, and I know you guys want to get in on that, and I don't want people to be like, oh, what's going on, and when is it going to happen? Just so you know, you're going to all be getting messaged this Sunday night, okay? So there you go. If you're a patron, thank you very much for your support, and hope to hope to be hearing from you soon. You can hear from me this Sunday night. Now, speaking of Sunday, my Sunday night's going to be very busy because, ladies and gentlemen, I have a big update in regards to the 10th anniversary line of merchandise on my Teespring. And it's a positive update. Last night, I received the final line of designs from the person who's been working on these 10th anniversary designs pretty much over the course of this year. We've gone back and forth a few times this year on ideas for what kind of stuff could be good for the 10th anniversary line of stuff for my Teespring. And as of now he's pretty much finalized everything. So what I'm going to be doing on Sunday night, as well as doing the patron stuff, I'm going to sit down and go through all of the work that this gentleman has done. I'm going to figure out, which are the best designs and narrow it down to maybe 3-4 designs, and probably make a bunch of new product on my Teespring. I know a lot of you have been saying, oh, I'm interested in merch from DSP Shop, but I want to wait because he says there's a 10th anniversary line of products, Let's see what he has. So there you go. The 10th anniversary line of products, if anything, if everything goes according to plan, should be going live this Sunday night, okay? If something goes wrong, I'll let you guys know, because sometimes I do have problems using the Teespring site, but sometimes I don't, but sometimes it is annoying where I try to update and it takes forever, okay? So I'll let you guys know, but it should be cool, and there should be a whole new line of product coming out this Sunday night, including, I'll probably do the typical stuff: t-shirts, women's t-shirts, sweatshirt, hoodie, stickers, mugs, that kind of stuff. I'll try to do the basic line of product for these new designs, and hopefully get some feedback from you guys on which ones you like the most, or if you want to see tweaks or whatever. And, I always am available to go back to the artist and say, oh, I got a request for a tweak for this or that or whatever. But I think in general you should like it. There's a lot of different designs that he worked up that I really like, and I think you guys are going to like them. I'm debating buying some myself. The only reason I'm actually questioning buying some is because, as you guys know, right now with the YouTube situation, I don't know what's going to happen. So spending extra money to get some merch, I mean, it would be nice to show it off on my stream, and obviously it might convince more people to buy some, which would help. But, buying that stuff right now might be a bad idea too, spending extra money at a time when I know money may be drying up in the next couple months. So I don't know. We'll see. Let me work on this Sunday night, and I'll let you guys know, and we'll go for there. Okay? All right. So there you go, guys. So you know the rough schedule. You know what's going on with Patreon, and you know what's going on with Teespring. All right? In the meantime, the current patrons are currently voting on the Rageathon games. The Rageathon will take place around the middle of this month. I'll have more information on that soon, but we've still got about a week and a half left. So if you're a current patron, you didn't vote yet on the Rageathon games, no worries. You got plenty of time. You've got until, not this Sunday, but a week from Sunday, so that would be August 12th, to vote on the games for the Rageathon, and then we'll schedule the Rageathon, okay? All right. I think that's about it. I had a couple questions in the stream chat today, okay? First of all, some people are saying that I didn't put a link to my tips in the description of the video I uploaded to DSP Gaming last night. Yeah, I did. So I don't know if you're just not looking or in the right place, but I absolutely did put it as the first thing in the description of that video. Maybe it didn't stick. I don't know. But I'll have to take a look at that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what happened. That someone who kept asking me, am I going to play Octopath Traveler? Well, here's the honest answer to that, all right? I want to play Octopath Traveler, but as you guys have seen how July unfolded, it didn't unfold the way that I had planned. When I was planning to come back to Persona 5, I asked everyone, how much time do you guys think I have left in the game? And most people said, about 20 to 25 hours left. Well, as of now, I've played it for over 30 hours. I think I've played it like 30 to 35 hours since I returned to it. And people are saying you still have like 10 to 20 hours left. At a minimum, you got like 10 to 20 hours left to beat the game. So if I had known that, I probably would have started playing Persona 5 earlier. I probably would have brought it back sometime in June so that I could have finished it by mid to late July, and we could have played Octopath. What the bottom line now is, I don't know when I'm going to have time for it. because everyone says Octopath is about an 80-hour game. And as you guys can see, this month, not only do I have to finish stuff up like Vice City, Eternal Darkness, and Persona 5, but all the new stuff coming up, including, like I said, the Black Ops 4 beta, Madden, We Happy Few, the new Walking Dead season, Shenmue Collection, and Fire Pro Wrestling World. Will there be some time in there to do other stuff? Of course there will. Is there 80 hours of time in there to do other stuff? Probably not. And once we hit September, again, we're going to be slammed with constant new releases, including games like Dragon Quest XI, Spider-Man, SNK Heroines, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Spyro Collection, and that's just a few. See what I mean? So, I just don't know what to say in that regard. Like, I want to play Octopath. 100% I wanted to play it. The game looks like Final Fantasy VI. People are saying the combat is a combination of old school RPGs with Bravely Default, and that the game is outstanding and original. Problem is, it released at a time when I knew I had to finish up another JRPG that was lingering, and it just seems to me like Persona 5 is one of the longest JRPGs ever made in human history, and I try as much as I can. I always have positive progress every time I play Persona 5, and it just seems like the game's not over, you know? I don't know what to tell you guys. At this point, just think about this. At this point, out of all the games I'm playing, Eternal Darkness, Vice City, and Persona 5, I think I have more left in Persona 5 than I have in the other two games. You see what I mean? Like, the game is so insanely long. Okay. So, that being said, what can you do? You know? What can you do? I want to play Octopath. It's just not looking very likely this summer. I'm not saying I'm never playing Octopath. I'm saying there just doesn't seem to be time to play it this summer. And, you know, quite frankly, you know, if it comes to a choice of Shenmue or Octopath, it's going to be Shenmue. I've always wanted to play Shenmue. This is a series of games that has a cult following, and I've always heard amazing things about it. I've heard it's like the predecessor to Yakuza, and that I really want to play Shenmue over Octopath. I'm sorry, I'm just that's way more in line with what I'm looking to do. So it's going to be Shenmue, you know. And then Dragon Quest XI in September. You see what I mean? Like, I don't see how it's going to happen. Okay. Now, let's very quickly go through a plug segment. All right. And then we will get to shout-outs. Okay. Shout-outs. I hope you guys are ready for shout-outs. Hold on. Okay. Here we go, my friends. So, thank you guys very much for 10 years of support. Thank you for everything. You know, the month of July, I should bring up, one of the best streaming months I've ever had. In fact, it was right up there with December and January, which were obviously great streaming months because of the holidays and all of that. Really great. And if we can keep that up, which I really hope we can keep that up in the month of August, then hopefully that'll help to make up for the fact with the problems I'm having on DSP Gaming and not making any money on YouTube. Hopefully we can keep it at this level and I'll be all right. But right now it's a very uncertain time. I don't know what's going to happen. Therefore, guys, if you want to see me continue to be a full-time live streamer as I am right now, you want to see the fun daily streams every single day, and you appreciate the content that I've been putting out for the past 10 years, and you want to support in any way you can, here is how you can do so. All right, number one, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. I've already mentioned it. You know, thanks to anyone who pledged in July. This month, the monthly goal, if we hit it here on Twitch with subs, which I think we're going to do because we're actually close already, is the return of the Indies Marathon, where I'll be doing a marathon-style stream of all indie games which patrons will be nominating and voting on. So if you pledge to my Patreon $5 or more this month, that's what you're going to get as your perk. But also, there's many other perks, including getting both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions in my videos and streams, getting your questions answered on my Q&A show, Ask the King, or even getting a private Q&A video made. I will not go into full detail, but go check it out yourself over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Thank you, everyone, for your support in July, one of the best patron months I've had in a while, and I hope that you will consider pledging to my Patreon if you are not, because it helps out tremendously, and you get cool stuff back for it, okay? I already mentioned my Teespring store, which will be refreshed this Sunday night. Give it a look. All right, you can see the plugs right here running on the pre-stream. I appreciate anyone who buys anything because I get a commission for every sale and you get a cool collectible, so it's a win-win. But in particular, if you're here live on the stream, and I say that because some people do watch this pre-stream on demand on YouTube, but if you are actually here live on the stream and you're loving the stream, you're loving the vibe, you're loving the gameplay, right? The positivity. You want to get a shout out during the stream? Well, there are 3 ways you can do it. You can either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or tip me. And if you do any of those things, I will give you a live verbal shout out during the stream. However, there are a few quick criteria to follow. Number 1, please be as short-worded and concise as possible. Number 2, please be positive. Don't bring in insults or toxicity. Do not address detractors or people stealing my content or anything like that, because all you're doing is giving them attention that they want. So please don't bring any of that stuff up. It is strictly against the rules as listed in the rules below my stream here on Twitch. And also, please don't try to derail the stream with topics such as politics or religion and stuff like that. As you know, very diversive topics, things that people cannot agree on, and typically when people bring that kind of stuff up in the stream chat, they get very angry and upset. So please do not bring that stuff up. It's very subjective what I bring up on my streams. So even though you cheer, sub, or tip, it's not guaranteed you're going to get a shout out, but I do my best to work one in for everyone. Even if I can't read your message, I'll usually give you a thank you for your contribution, okay? Now, if you want to go the step further and get visual recognition for your contributions, you could do so if you either cheer 50 bits or more in a single cheer, or if you click on the share button that will appear a few minutes after you subscribe to the channel, or if you tip me $5 or more in a single tip, you'll see an on-screen thank you animation play during the stream. So it's both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions. It's really awesome, and really nice that people contribute to that level where they get both, right? Pretty nice. Now, as you guys can see on the top of your screens, we've got the stream stats leaderboard. This leaderboard will be running throughout the course of the stream, tracking how many subs we've got, moving towards our sub goal of 525 subs for the month for that Indies Marathon, as well as the current top cheerer and top tipper. It's a great way to get recognition if you're on the stream live, or if you're just watching the videos on YouTube as well. You'll be immortalized in that video, right? You'll always be up there. So thanks to anyone who does contribute during today's streams, right? A few things that we'll cover here. Number 1, in regards to subscribing. Obviously, if you subscribe to the channel, you're working towards that monthly goal of the Indies Marathon, as I said. But what else do you get for subscribing? Well, you get access to all of my emotes in the stream chat, which people absolutely love. But you also get access to the fact that it's an ad-free stream. I typically run ad breaks 2 to 3 times during every stream. If you have the subscription, you don't have to see any of those ads, which is great, right? In addition, you get a cool Chat Crown badge showing how long of a supporter you've been. I know some people are coming up on their 2-year anniversaries, which means some people will actually be getting the cool the cool diamond crowns for the first time ever, okay? So please consider subbing. Not only do you get all that cool stuff, but you also contribute to the monthly goals, all right? Now, I also mentioned tipping on this pre-stream. You may say, well, tipping, what is that? Well, it's completely separate from cheering and subbing, which are things that are ingrained in Twitch. Tipping is a third-party contribution through PayPal. In particular, right now, guys, if you're listening to this pre-stream and you're thinking, gee, I want to contribute today to Phil, I want to help him out, the best way you could do it is by tipping me. Because tips I get right away, I literally can use that money right now to pay bills, and these first 2 weeks of the month is when all my bills come due. So please, if you can, tip me today. That's the best way to contribute. How can you tip? 2 different ways. If you look below the stream, you may see a button that says Tip Jar. Click on that button. It takes you to my PayPal tips page where you can either leave an anonymous tip or you can leave your name in a message if you'd like a shout out, all right? Or if you don't see that Tip Jar button, you may be on a mobile version of the site, which is obviously perfectly fine. Instead, type !tip into the stream chat, okay? And then you'll get a link that'll pop up. That'll take you to my tips page. So I'm appreciative of any contributions you guys lend me today. Thank you very much for all of your support in July. I'm hoping that August can be just as good as July, and if it is, hopefully things will continue to be good for me. And I'll be able to do this regardless of the fact that the YouTube revenue is gone. But the best way you could support right now would be to tip me, okay? All right, let's now get to shout-outs. For those who cheered, subbed, and tipped, not only during this stream, but actually overnight, because we have quite a few people who contributed overnight, and I want to give them credit where credit is due. So let's do that. First of all, we had Infinite55, who did a 300-bit cheer last night. Thank you very much, Infinite. We had Wiggle Bottom gifted a subscription to Ronaldo Kuhn. So congrats to Ronaldo Kuhn, and thank you, Wiggle Bottom, for the sub. Accidentally Psychopathic tipped me $2 and actually left me a nice personal message. I'm not going to read that personal message, but thank you, Accidentally Psychopathic, for the $2 tip. I appreciate it, okay? Peacein subscribed to the channel overnight. Thank you, Peacein, for the sub. I appreciate that. Then Lollipop did a couple of cheers, basically asking, why does it look like on Patreon.com that people have lowered their pledges? Well, it's not the case. What happens is every month a few things happen. Number one, people's pledges clear, and then they say, okay, well, I did a nice big pledge for Phil this month, but I don't want to do that next month. I'm going to lower my pledge down to something what I feel is more reasonable, right? So you might be someone, oh, this month I want to do the biggest pledge level, but now that it cleared, now I'm going to lower it down to the $5 level or whatever, right? This happens all the time. So you'll see a big surge in support before the first of the month, and after the first of the month when the pledge is clear, people will lower their pledges. Perfectly acceptable, makes sense. Number two, what Patreon does, it accounts for declined pledges. And for what I saw this month, I barely got any. I think it was like only 5 people or something like that. But a few of those were larger pledges. So I think what happened is Patreon says, oh, you know, oh, 50, 60 bucks was declined. And it subtracts that from your public total. So it doesn't accidentally look like you got that money and people think that you got more than you did. So there's a lot of factors involved. Don't worry about the public-facing total on my Patreon. It's rarely correct. What I can tell you guys is, yes, this month was a very supportive month on Patreon. I'm very appreciative of everyone's support. And yes, it is going to help me out a lot. So thank you for that, okay? BattleDuck9000 just tipped me $10. Well, he tipped me $10 overnight, excuse me. It was early this morning, and he says, seriously, F YouTube and its toxic community of troll kitties and pathetic man babies pretending to be kitties. I can't stop, won't stop, don't know how to stop watching your content, and I'll try to help as much as I can in these trying times. Thank you very much, BattleDuck, for that. I appreciate that. I'm not going to stop uploading to YouTube. You know, I was thinking about it. I was dabbling in that idea last week. I think the best way to progress forward is to keep uploading to KO Gaming with the new gameplay. I don't see a reason not to at this point, even though there may be some situations when I'm not. And for example, what I mean by that is sponsored streams. If and when Twitch finally launches a new slew of sponsored streams, which I'm waiting because they have not done so in the last week. I think everyone's kind of waiting to see what their next batch of sponsored stream games will be. When they do that, those sponsored streams will only be on Twitch. When I play a sponsored game, that will only be on Twitch, okay? So there will be some events moving forward that are going to be Twitch only. But when it comes to my standard playthroughs and the like, I think I am going to keep uploading them to KO Gaming. I don't see a reason not to. Especially to those who, it's not their fault that YouTube has screwed me over here at all. Or I shouldn't say YouTube, I should say Google, because it's Google in general, a terrible fucking company with automated processes and no humans to actually review any situations. They screwed me over. And, you know, it's nobody's fault. It's not the viewer's fault that this happened, right? So just because someone's watches me on YouTube and only has watched me on YouTube for the past 10 years, maybe they can't even watch me on Twitch because either their schedule doesn't jive when I stream, or they don't have, you know, good enough internet when they try to watch on Twitch. It just buffers constantly or whatever, which I've heard horror stories about that. I don't want to punish those people and say, oh, now you can never watch my content again, right? But what I do hope is that people will continue to step up and realize if you want to watch my content on YouTube and you want to see me continue to be here, then you have to contribute. Because, like I've told you guys on stream, you guys have been absolutely tremendously positive. You've been incredibly supportive. I can't ask any much more than what you guys are already doing. You guys are supporting me every single day on stream. But the YouTube viewers, a lot of them, I really feel have become complacent over the past 10 years. They just expect that DSP will be here no matter what. That no matter through thick and thin, no matter what hardship Phil comes up against, he's going to be here and all I need to do is watch his videos and that's it. That's not the case anymore. You know, we're in a situation now with no money being made on YouTube at all, and it basically just being fan service that I do need support from those people who only watch on YouTube, and I've been trying to expressing that need over the past week on my YouTube videos. So hopefully the people on YouTube get it. I definitely did get a surge in patron support this last week, which was great. And hopefully these people will continue to realize the situation is dire and they do need to contribute in other ways rather than just assume that things are going to be happy and shiny and rainbows are going to go across the sky and we're going to find a pot of gold at the end of it. That's not real life. You know what I mean? So thanks. If you are one of those YouTube viewers and you did step up this last week and help me out, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have no plans to stop uploading to YouTube in the near future. The Lollipop cheered again. He says, you know, I saw that some people try to give suggestions, but they're afraid that you're going to ban or insult them. And I was like that in the past too, but Phil has changed and he isn't the old Phil. Some people now think that if they criticize you, they'll get insulted. They think that they shouldn't say anything. They may make you mad or sad because it's true. Sorry for the long cheer. Well, here's the thing, Lollipop, and I think the reason Lollipop's bringing this up is overnight, on my Twitter, I asked a very honest question. I said, I would like feedback. If you guys can let me know, all right, if you guys could please let me know, what is one thing that you feel that I do wrong and I can improve on? And yes, a lot of the responses on Twitter were absolutely brutal. And I'd say about maybe 10 to 20% were trolls, being dicks. You know, the response was something insulting instead of something constructive. But a lot of people actually left a lot of constructive criticism, and that's what I enjoyed. That's why I asked the question. I wouldn't have asked the question if I wasn't looking for actual constructive criticism. And a lot of people get this sad misconception, again, from only watching detractor videos, right? That every time that Phil gets criticism, that he will slam you, he'll insult you, he'll ban you, he'll do this, he'll do that. That's not true at all. That's actually not true at all. You know, everyone who has legit criticism gets a chance now. It's a very different. You're right, Lollipop. Old school Phil, all right, would have been a dick and said, I know everything, I know better than anyone, I'm obviously the successful YouTuber, so who are you to tell me that I should change or do something differently? You know, that's very, very different. Very different than what I actually do today. Today, I take in what I can, you know, and I get criticism, I get suggestions. It sucks because a lot of the things that people suggest are very valid suggestions, and they're just things I can't do. Oh, Phil, you know, on Patreon, a lot of people put out videos privately for their patrons, right? That's a very popular patron perk, and if maybe you did a perk where people subscribe every month to your Patreon, they get special videos, you know, you get more patrons. True, and I can't do it. Because the detractors have said they would just purposely become patrons so that they could steal those videos and post them all over the internet, therefore making it a moot point and no one would pledge for that purpose. See what I mean? So there are things that are great ideas that people have that just aren't viable. Why doesn't Phil do more multiplayer with his fans? Because I can't. Because I used to do it all the time, and it got so bad with those nasty people coming in and ruining it, right? Coming in and just ruining the multiplayer sessions. That it wasn't even worth it anymore. And the last session I did, I got so much negative feedback, people saying, don't do it anymore. I didn't. See what I mean? So that's just kind of the deal. That's how it is. And it sucks. And I agree with you that I can't always take in and react to every suggestion. But then you got to realize there's a flip side. There's some people that feel entitled. And they think that if they have a criticism or if they have a suggestion, I don't necessarily address it or immediately change based off of what they said. That I don't listen to criticism and yada, you know, that's a negative. That's ridiculous. You can't expect that with every single thing that someone says to me that I'm going to react to it immediately and I'm going to make a change or whatever, right? That's not how life works, especially when you're a content creator like I am. I've got thousands of people who watch my stuff every day. I get hundreds of suggestions when I ask for it. You know, I think last night, when I asked, I think 92 or 96 or something like that, people responded, and more people are responding right now. How can you expect that in a few hours I'm going to read all those responses and immediately make 96 changes to my content? It's not going to happen, you see? And that's why you got to be more understanding in that regard and be a little bit patient with me, you know, that I will take in all your feedback. It all becomes part of this collective, you know, consideration, and then sometimes I'll make changes or I'll take ideas, you know, and I'll do things based off of what you say, okay? So, thank you for the criticism. I always appreciate it. And no, when you bring in positive criticism or legit, you know, suggestions, I'm not going to ban you or yell at you. The people who get moderated like that are people who are just being completely negative on stream. Okay, I address your first point, then I address your second point, then you're not satisfied, so you keep harping on it over and over. I'm doing a gameplay stream, you know? I can't be here talking to one person for 45 minutes because they're not satisfied with a particular subject that they were just demanding a certain answer on. It's ridiculous. And, you know, I've had a couple people like that over the past couple of weeks. And then what these assholes do, they highlight that one part of the stream only where they've been moderated to get banned because they're derailing the stream. And they say, oh, you see, Phil doesn't listen to criticism. Oh, but yeah, but you ignored the whole 20 minutes we talked earlier and the person wasn't satisfied and kept harping and drawing it out. You see what I mean? You put it right out of context. And when you put it out of context, that's what happens, is it looks stupid, right? So what are you going to do? Don't believe that crap. You know what I mean? Okay. John also did a 25-bit cheer and said, woo! So thank you, John. All right, so now we're moving on to people who actually contributed while the stream was running. So we're going to start updating that stream stats leaderboard up top on the top of the screen. We've got Alucard Ali, who did a cheer and said, will we be seeing less retro playthroughs from the YouTube situation? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, when I do these retro playthroughs, typically it's to fill time at a time when there's no other AAA releases. I mean, just because there's no new releases doesn't mean I just stop working. You know what I mean? This summer in particular, most of the retro games I've played is because the month of July was 100% dead with no new releases. And so I wanted to find stuff to entertain you guys and to do during this downtime. The YouTube situation has absolutely nothing to do with that. Just because I'm making no money on YouTube videos doesn't mean I stop playing retro games. What it means is as long as I'm finding a way to entertain you guys on the streams, right? And keeping stuff moving, and we're not saying, oh God, well, you know, Phil played retro games this month, so his viewership halved and he made no money. That would be a dire situation. It's literally the opposite, where the month of July was great playing retro games. So let's hope that we can keep that up. Now we have a month where it's going to be kind of half and half. I'll be doing kind of half downtime stuff and then a lot of new stuff, right? But no, I don't foresee me playing retro games decreasing at all just because of the YouTube situation. But however, what you need to understand is we are about to head into the hardcore gaming season of the year, where for about 3 straight months starting in September, we're going to have non-stop new releases. So there's going to be very little time for downtime stuff, although I will be wedging in things like a Patron's Choice playthrough and the like. There's not going to be much opportunity for brand new games, or excuse me, for brand new retro playthroughs, I should have said. So there you go. Last Rambo did 100-bit cheers, and what happened in regards to Octopath Traveler? I hope it's not another skipped Nintendo Switch game. I actually already addressed this on pre-stream, but very briefly, I'll just say again, I don't have time for it. Persona 5 ended up being more than double at this point what people told me I had left in the game. So I started playing it based on what people told me, and it was completely incorrect information. So because of that, you know, I have to finish up Persona 5. I have to get it done. That's my priority for JRPG, and then after that, it looks like Shenmue. So yeah, Octopath sadly is not going to be played this summer. Will I eventually play it? I hope so. It certainly seems like the kind of game that's right up my alley, being a fan of classic JRPGs from the 90s. But sometimes things just don't line up, and that's kind of what happened here. Is I was 100% planning on playing Octopath as soon as I finished Persona 5, but Persona 5 never ends. I've now played it over like 30 to 35 hours, and people are telling me there's still 20 hours left. Well, then obviously there's no time for Octopath. I don't know what to say. All right, John did a 110-bit cheer. And he says, hey, Phil, do you think all memes and trolling is bad? I'm not going to lie. I do troll people who play League of Legends here and there. But I have a personal rule book, no personal insults. And I ask the streamer if I can be. And if not, if they are going through a rough time, I try to cheer them up. There's nothing wrong with a meme. There is something wrong with a meme that is personally insulting. Like, I'll give you an example. Nothing I can do, right? That's something that I said before. You guys make fun of me for it. Or, you know, I'm pushing buttons. There's lag. The game's delayed, stuff like that, or memes from stuff that I've said over the years as complaints of game. You guys bring that up, it makes sense, right? But to say, oh, Phil has gout. Wait, what? That's a personal medical issue, right? And bringing that up has nothing to do with any of the content on my streams at all. It's a personal insult. That is not cool. You see what I mean? There's a big difference between, you know, doing something that's related to gameplay or related to someone on the online, and something that's just meant to be ridiculously a personal insult. You see? And the bottom line is, it's funny because what people will do is they'll bring shit up that has no pertinence to present day. I have not actually had any issues with gout in over 2 years. I've had a single flare-up, no problems, because I now am much more healthy. I drink less. I actually eat much healthier. I stopped eating the unhealthy stuff that was making me have medical issues, and I haven't had any issues in over 2 years. So there you go. In that regard, I'm good. But the people who bring that shit up, they do it on purpose, not because it's pertinent, but because they think it's insulting, right? So that's the difference. You want to bring up a meme that's something kind of fun, everyone can laugh. You know, there's a difference between laughing with someone and laughing at them. I'm okay with people laughing and saying, oh, you know, Phil sucks at games and he online lag and shit like that. That I'll laugh at every day. You know what I mean? Every single day. But when you bring up personal shit, right? When you're bringing up absolutely personal shit about someone's family, someone's friends, someone's medical conditions, that's ridiculous. That's no one's fucking business to be bringing shit up like that, you know? And it's absolutely ludicrous that people think it's okay. Oh, that's just a meme. It's okay. No, it's not. That's personal insults. That's not okay in any reference, in any regard. That's never okay. Okay. All right. Shout out to Akio Artorius, who did a 25-bit cheer, and he says, Derek says that he's currently watching your Tomodachi Life videos on YouTube, and I remember your memes you made. I really loved AJ Lee, Gordon Ramsay, Jennifer Lawrence, Daniel Bryan, and many others. Secret, Duke Nukem doesn't like cappuccino, and remember quirky questions. Of course I do. Tomodachi Life was cool. Tomodachi Life was a really unique 3DS game. That was back when I had just gotten my 3DS capture device, and I was looking for something unique to do. That was absolutely was a lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun playthrough stuff there. I agree. Okay. John cheered again, and he said, I'm worried about no YouTube revenue. Are you surfing serene? I have no idea what you're talking about. And if that's a meme, I hope it's not. I don't understand the reference. Right now, there's no way to tell what's going to happen. There's no way, okay? There's no way. Right now, I could get contacted by AdSense in the next couple weeks and say, oh, it's okay, and you get restored. Or, you know, nothing could ever happen, and I never get DSP Gaming ad revenue back. Right now, I could continue to make, you know, $5 to $10 a day on KO Gaming, or maybe with the hardcore gaming season picking up, maybe that will increase to a decent amount of money, and it won't matter, the DSP Gaming situation, right? Streaming could stay the level it is as it was in July, which was great, and then things could be okay. Still tight, but they could be okay. Or streaming could dip out of nowhere this month. You know, we're only the 2nd of August. I don't want to jump the gun and say anything because I have no idea what's going to happen, but, you know, you never know. That's always been the nature of this business. In the 10 years I've done this, and the 7 years I've done it for a living. Constant highs and lows, constant ups and downs, constant hurdles to jump. Up to this point, I've always found a way around all the issues. I hope that I can find a way around this one as well. If I want to say just thank you to you guys who are being so incredibly supportive every day to get around these issues, okay? But I don't know, John. There's no way to tell. It's way too early, okay? Eternal Napalm. Oh, first of all, Bioman fan complaining. Can you just play the freaking game? I'm doing shout-outs. This is the shout-out segment of the stream where people who contribute get shout-outs. That's the whole point of interactive streams. If you don't like it, go watch a streamer who doesn't actually give credit to people who contribute because they're not appreciative. I don't know what else to say. I take my time because I appreciate every single contribution that I get on stream, and I will continue to do so. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. Okay? Eternal Napalm did a 2,000-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Eternal Napalm. That is obviously the biggest cheer for today so far. And he says, hey, Phil, I hope you're enjoying your day. Well, my day is just beginning, Eternal Napalm. Let's get you up there. Get you up there on the leaderboard. My day is just beginning. I certainly can't tell you how it's going to be overall, but I enjoy streaming. It's cooler today, which is great. I'm not sweating my nuts off today, which is always a good thing. And I'm looking forward to Eternal Darkness, so it looks like a good stuff coming up, right? So thank you very much for your support, Eternal Napalm. I appreciate that, man. All right, shout out to Alucard Dali, or Alucard Dali again, who did a 50-bit cheer. He says, Shenmue is one of those games I think you'll get bored of quick. There's a lot of downtime and chill quests. Why would I get bored? Did you ever watch me play Yakuza? Yakuza's exactly the same. Where, yes, there's combat, but in general, there's a ton of side questing in Yakuza, and I really like that franchise. So I don't, as long as it's not to the point where, okay, I played it for 25 hours of side content before I got to the next mission that's a part of the story, then maybe I'd complain, you know what I mean? But in general, I've heard many positive things about Shenmue, and as long as people are making that comparison, oh, it's like the early Yakuza, I think I'm really going to like the game. So I guess we'll find out. Eternal Napalm cheered. He says, what if in your Persona 5 finale there's a glitch that corrupts your save? That would be a shame to have to start a fresh run. I guess I'm not finishing it. There's no way I could play 130 plus hours of gameplay again to get back to where I am. Maybe in in a year's time, right? But there was no way I would even touch it again if that happened. But that's why you make multiple save files, right? That's why you do that. Amplatory 2, Amplatory 2 subscribe to the channel for the 10th month in a row. Thank you very much, Amplatory 2, for the resub. I appreciate the ongoing support. Eternal Napalm cheered again and says, chat wants to know if you could get a buzz cut and go clean shave for a 550 sub goal. No. Reason being, I like the hair this way, and so does Kat. So why am I going to change my whole appearance just to make a little bit of money? That's ludicrous. We like it how it is, and I'm going to keep it that way. Okay? John cheered. He says, Derek says, I was watching your Tomodachi Life videos earlier today before the stream. I didn't know that they were back on YouTube until he checked YouTube today. Did you make those videos public recently? I mean, all videos are public now. All videos on DSP Gaming are public. What happened was, remember last month, well, actually 2 months ago, in early June, when I had that issue where DSP Gaming was temporarily suspended, then I had to make all the videos public. So anything that was private has been made public again. Okay? Alrighty. Shout out to Tantamounter, who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Tantamounter. I appreciate that. B Diggy, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, B Diggy, for the sub. By the way, I will be updating the sub total by the end of the pre-stream here. Thank you very much for the sub, B Diggy. Third Eye the Third cheered and says, ever think of playing multiple games in one stream like Lyric does? People who watch full LPs are in the minority anyway, and each game has the potential to bring in new viewers. It would be great for variety since you're entertaining. You're most entertaining in part 1 of a Let's Play as you discover the game. The later parts get watered down with a bit of dead air. Also, this way you can discover games that you really like and do full Let's Plays of those you choose to. There's a couple reasons why I don't do this, Third Eye the Third. The first reason would be cost. Unlike Lyric, I don't have an insane amount of viewers and make an insane amount of money where every day I could be playing a new game. I just don't have the money for it. I can't drop money every day to be playing a new game. You know, that's just real talk. You know, maybe, you know, years ago, absolutely, I was in a situation where I was making so much money on YouTube that I could play a new thing every single day and it didn't matter. But I'm not in that situation anymore. So just finance-wise, I couldn't do that. That's number one. Number two, people tend to view me, and over my 10-year legacy as a content creator, they've gotten to know me as the guy who, when I choose a game that I want to pick, typically, I will give it a good shot, and as long as I'm enjoying the game, you know, in that first session, I'll keep playing it. They know that I'm not a guy who literally just plays the game once and then drops it. I know a lot of streamers do that. I'm 100% in the know that a lot of streamers will try a game for a stream, and if it doesn't really pick up with their audience or whatever, that's it. They just drop it like a hot rock. I don't do that. And a lot of people appreciate that because they realize that their money, excuse me, their time is money. Their time is valuable. And for them to tune into a stream and then say, oh, I like this game, and then, oh, well, Phil just decided he's dropping it after one session for just because, you know, could be very disheartening. And I don't do that too often. As you guys see, the games that I do choose for playthroughs end up usually being full playthroughs one way or another. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule, but in general, most of the games I've played in my 10-year legacy have been completed. So, that being said, for me to completely change my formula overnight, now I'm just going to play brand new games every day, and half of them I'm never going to continue, a lot of people are going to get turned off, and I don't know how that would work. You know, the thing is, I have a niche. I have a viewing audience that have been with me for a long time, and they know what to expect, and to completely change what I'm doing without any, like, guarantee of a potential benefit could be very off-putting for my ongoing supporters, is what I should have said. Now, I'm certainly not saying that maybe an idea for a new kind of content or event would be, oh, this is a day when Phil's going to try a bunch of new games and we're going to see what sticks. In fact, I would even say this, things such as my marathons, my Indies marathon, right? In particular, when I do indie games, a lot of the times it's 4 or 5 games in one session, and then I decide based off of what games I like if I'm going to go back and play them again. So in a lot of ways, your idea does happen. It's just for special events. It's not every day, okay? Excuse me. I guess we'll see what happens. But, you know, we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. Sound good? Okay, let's continue on here now. And by the way, once again, another impatient person in the stream chat. Nearby Dragonfly. When does the game start? The game starts when the shout-outs end, because I'm appreciative of all the contributions that my viewers give me, and they all get credit for their contributions, versus if I started playing the game, the first 45 minutes of gameplay would just be me doing shout-outs and not playing the game, and everyone would complain. So, again, you know what to expect. You know how appreciative I am, and then I give credit where credit is due. If you don't like that, you can go watch somebody else who doesn't do that and just skips over all their contributions because they have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who just toss money at them. If that's what you want, go watch that. Or you could be here and actually be appreciated. It's up to you. It's your personal choice what you want to do with your time, but sitting here in my stream chat complaining is not going to be a good use of your time. Okay? All right. Shout out to... Hold on here. Shigesun. If that's how you say his name, I apologize. Shigesun, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Also, shout out to Blaine007, who tipped me $10. What is going on, Blaine? Good to see you. Always good to see Blaine on the stream. Longtime viewer and supporter. Thank you, Blaine. And thank you for your tip contribution. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Alexander Rossi. He just cheered. And he says, in regards to that meme cheer from earlier, can you guys give us your official stance on why am I toxic? Are we allowed to use it, or is it too closely connected to the trolls? Well, I don't know. Like, from what I understand, apparently it originated, that meme originated from when I was playing Dark Souls, And I guess during one segment of one of the Dark Souls games I was playing, my character got what was called the Toxic Affliction. And I yelled out, "Why am I toxic?" Because I didn't understand. I guess I didn't see my character being hit by blow darts or whatever it was that caused me to get that toxic status condition. And I guess what happened is people turned it into a negative meme, saying, "Oh, you see, we could use this and say that Phil's a toxic person or whatever," right? It's one thing if you bring it in as a joke. It's another thing if, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Someone comes into the stream chat, they're being really nasty. You know, they're, like I said, that person the other day who was just bogarting the entire chat, kept cheering just to keep asking, you know, the same question over and over, wasn't satisfied with the answer I was giving, kept pounding. It's like, guy, the stream isn't about you. The stream is here for everyone to have fun and watch me play games. It's not for me to talk to you for 45 minutes on this one subject. You got to move on. He wouldn't move on, to the point where then he became insulting and he got banned from the chat. Then immediately people come, "Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic?" That has nothing to do with what happened. But that when you use the meme to bastardize a situation and to try to make something look like something it's not, that's when that meme actually becomes toxic itself. You see what I mean? It's one thing if I'm playing a game online and I'm playing Third Strike and I'm losing. I'm like, "God, I can't parry the lag and this and that." And then people start using, nothing I could do. I tried to do too much online lag. That's the pertinent time to use the meme. Not throw it in later as a way to become toxic and accentuate a situation where that's not happening. You see what I mean? So that's what I mean. That's the difference. And, you know, it does get very draining and very tiring when you're trying to put out entertaining, fun, positive streams and people come in with a meme like that and out of nowhere will blast you, "Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic?" It sounds like a parrot. It sounds like someone who's like, you know, a dumbass who just repeats whatever they hear. A lot of the times it doesn't even pertain to what's being said. One of the stupid things is that penne meme. "I prefer a penne. I prefer penne." It doesn't even mean anything. When you actually ask someone what it means, apparently it means penne means penis in Spanish or something. "Oh, so I prefer a penis." It's like 2-year-old humor. It's like not even funny. But that's what I mean. These people repeat these things like parrots, because what it is, it's called a mob or sheep mentality, where when people all repeat something so much, it becomes a meme, and it's funny, or it gives you a sense of belonging just because you know the meme and you're a part of it, versus it actually having any intrinsic value at all. So, you know, "Oh, why am I toxic? Why am I toxic?" Well, it doesn't. It's stupid meme. It barely applies to anything. But people will bring it in to insult me. It's an insult meme is what it is. It's not a good-spirited meme of something meant to be funny. It's meant to be insulting. That's why certain memes don't make sense or are bad, while other memes can be very funny, right? There's plenty of memes about me that are fine. But, "Why am I toxic? Phil has gout." You know, this kind of shit. It's like, it has to stop. You know, that's the kind of stuff that doesn't fly. You know what I mean? Okay, let's continue. Shout out to Jack Spartacus, who gifted a subscription to Black Mage C-Type. So congratulations to Black Mage C-Type on being a new sub. And Jack Spartacus, thank you for the support. Appreciate that. Lord Lamb tipped me $2. And he says, "You often say that fighting games are your best type of games, i.e. you're the best at them. However, what genre of game would you say that you're the weakest at?" I mean, this is pretty much a no-brainer. I'd say either driving, racing, or sports. Those are the two genres that I pretty much play the least out of anything, and therefore I have the least experience. Everyone knows how bad my driving is in any game that has driving, right? And sports, I so rarely play sports games that it would be very hard for me to ever get actually good at one without playing it for a significantly long amount of time. So that would be my guess. I'm sure everyone will have an opinion. You know what I mean? Everyone will have an opinion. But that's my guess anyway. Okay. Third Eye the Third just cheered. He says, "I get what you're saying." Now, he's talking in regards to his previous suggestion that, like Lyric, I do streams where I try multiple games and I drop a lot of them. Okay. So he says, "I get what you're saying, but isn't every game you buy a tax write-off? Plus, not all games are $60. Plenty of fun stuff out there for as little as less than $1. Sure, those titles are on Steam, but they're light enough to run on your 3K Lemon." Well, first of all, it's not a lemon at all. There's nothing wrong with my PC, and I hate when people call it a 3K Lemon, because that's another detractor meme talking about that subject. There's nothing wrong with my PC. Just my PC cannot capture, stream, and play games all at different resolutions at the same time. It's basically doing 3 processes at once, all at the same time. It can't handle it, all right? But, that being said, being a tax write-off has nothing whatsoever to affording the upfront cost of a game. You know, there was a time, and again, I'll say this, there was a time 5 or more years ago when I was making so much money on YouTube and I had so much credit in my name that I had unlimited resources. I could go out and I could buy whatever I needed on a daily basis. You know, I could go out and say, oh shit, my console died, fuck it, go buy a new one. Man, you know, today I'm just going to adopt live streaming. Let me go to Best Buy and buy a capture device, right? I can't do that anymore. I don't have that credit anymore. I don't have that kind of money. You know what I mean? And you say, oh, it's a tax write-off. Sure, so I won't get taxed on the money I spend, but that doesn't mean it's free. I don't think you understand what a tax write-off means. A tax write-off simply means I don't have to pay taxes on any money that I spend on equipment for the business. That doesn't mean I don't have to spend money to buy that equipment. So that's what I mean. Like, oh, this week I played 10 new games. A couple of them were dollar games, but some of them were $60 purchases, and some of them were cheaper. And you're talking every week I'm spending $200, $300, $400 on just new games. That's not going to fly. I don't have that kind of money. You know what I mean? And especially now during the hardcore gaming season, there are a ton of games I'm going to be spending a lot of money on. This is actually the busiest time of the year coming up for the new games, and I'm going to rely heavily on things like tips in order to afford all these games, because I just don't have the credit for it anymore. You know, being very realistic here, at one point, my credit score was great, I had tons of credit, and I could run out and buy whatever. I can't anymore. I'm completely overextended in that regard. That's one of the reasons why I'm in the situation I am. I can't run out and just do whatever I want anymore, you know? And that's my new reality, and I just got to understand that and live with it. So, no, I can't. Sadly, Third Eye the Third, I know. Oh, man, if Phil could do this, it would be amazing. This is another situation, actually a valid suggestion that I can't do. You know, it's a valid suggestion. Just try random games and drop half of them. True, but I can't do it. I can't afford it. When I play a game, I have to pick and choose a game that I feel I'm going to like, and it is going to end up being a satisfactory playthrough, and I'm going to get, when I spend every dollar I spend on a game, has to be a dollar that's well invested, because I know I'm going to get something back out of it, rather than, oh, it's a throwaway game, and now I lost money. I can't do that. I just can't do it. In the modern era, you know, I'm not big enough. I don't have enough support and following to be able to just do frivolous things like that. Okay? Akio Artorius just cheered 30 bits. It says, any chance of Lost Odyssey, Dino Crisis, and or Spookies? I think he means Spooky's House of Horrors or something, in the future. Yeah, there's always a possibility, you know? There's always a possibility. But I have not heard a single person clamor for those games. All right, I take that back. Ickis Ando asks for Dino Crisis. But outside of him, I haven't really heard many people clamor for those games. Lost Odyssey in particular, all those games you just mentioned would be the game that I would want to play. But again, an incredibly drawn-out JRPG. It's very difficult. It requires grinding. All stuff that people don't want to see on a stream. If you haven't noticed, when I brought back Persona 5 last month, there was an initial wave of excitement, and then it died out, right? So, that's what I mean. Like, that's exactly what happens with every single JRPG I play. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens with Shenmue, and the same thing happens with Dragon Quest XI. You know what I mean? That's why I can't constantly be playing JRPGs. But eventually, one day, I feel I will play Lost Odyssey. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. I really want to, though. So hopefully one day I will. Okay? Murdoch tipped me $30. Wow, thank you very much, Murdoch. A very generous tip from Murdoch. Let's get him up on the leaderboard. Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Much appreciated. And thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Shout out to Uzigo Hard. Uzigo Hard cheered and said, "Is good stream. Don't let the haters get to you. You be you." Okay. Well, thank you for that for that message. Very much. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for your contributions. Let's actually check sub count now, because we actually got a significant amount of subs there during the pre-stream. We're up to 505 subs. Very nice. We're actually getting we're getting progress, guys. We only need 20 more subs in order to hit the subscriber goal for this month, which is the return of the Indies Marathon. I mean, realistically, we could do it today and tomorrow. You know, especially today we got Eternal Darkness Persona. Tomorrow we got Black Ops 4 and Vice City. I mean, we could hit it. We could actually hit the subs goal in the next 2 days. So if you are not a sub, please consider subbing. Make this happen. You know what I mean? Okay. And I certainly hope that you guys, you know, would enjoy my content that I put out today. Thank you for your support. Okay. Let's do the top 10 shout out thank yous for those who have cheered this week so far. Let's do some thank yous for that. Okay. The top 10 cheer contributors. In 10th place, thank you to Dark Carnage. In 9th place, we've got Die James. In 8th place, Murdoch. In 7th place, John. In 6th place, Stinkin' Burrows. In 5th place, K. Jones. In 4th place, Creepy Spaghetti. 3rd place goes to O. Fizzle. 2nd place, Infinite 55. And 1st place, Eternal Napalm. Thank you guys very much for your contributions this week. And as you guys can see, current top cheerer for today, Eternal Napalm, 2,000 bits. And, of course, Murdoch, who just did that very generous $30 tip. Thank you guys very, very much. Okay, guys, I think it's now time. It's now time to end the pre-stream and get set up here and get ready for Eternal Darkness. I hope you guys are ready. I'm excited for another 4 hours. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for your support, and let's get the show on the road. Very nice. Thanks.